when I finish. I'm going to start with not with the absolute background, but with that hill in the midground, and I'm just literally going to put that in like this. What I like to do is to get a flow of colour straight away and start to get the feel of how the painting is going to develop and the colours I'm going to use in it. So I work often over different parts of the picture at the same time. Don't be afraid to do that. I know sometimes it's a case of you sort of told to apply washes and such like and build it up, but I like to get started, and then it's basically get the picture started and then fix it, which sounds really weird, but I've found that it works for me. There's a lot of rocks and stones here, so I'm just going to put in some random bits and bobs. I'm already getting a feel for this already, you know. I'm tempted to put more colour in already, which I'm not going to do just yet. There's some more rocks lighter over this side. I'm going to emphasise what they call aerial perspective more than is actually apparent in this part of the photograph. Don't know how it will work out yet. There's broken textures all over the place here. Let's just chuck some water on just for fun. I just want to show people that I do that. Actually, for chucking on splodges, I often use the rigger. I'll just do that now, just to show you what I mean. I'll just go poof, 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 like that. I mean, that won't show up in the final painting, but I just want to show you. Don't be as heavily touched, as it were. And I'm going to flick in some bits. I'm going to have to get one of a toothbrush or something to do this, aren't I? I'll get some bits on there. Okay. Notice the path is down there. I'm going to start. Whoop, wrong brush. I'm going to use my mop for that. I use the mop a lot because I really like the way that it moves the paint around. I'm going to start hinting there's going to be the path through there. Okay. So there's nothing here yet, but already the shape of the painting is starting to come along. Now I'll need to dry that part, so I'll pause the video at this stage. And just to show you, I use my trusty old chef's blowtorch for drying. Now, I actually prefer using this to using a hairdryer. I mean I've used a hairdryer before, but I've got in the habit of doing this because when I paint outdoors I can do the same thing. Little boys and fire, do you know what I mean? That is happening in the photograph. I mean, in the background here, you can't really see. It's just like ocean and islands and stuff. Quite hard to see in detail what's there. I'm just going to put a few bits in. Well, I mean, it's a good enough photograph. I'm not criticising the photograph, Robin. But you know, I just use visual imagination, don't I? Visual imagination is what I find is. That's what I call it. Is it right? Who knows? Put a bit of that down to there. Okay. I will come in and do a bit more little details and stuff in here in a minute. Because what's happening here, of course, is that the land is merging in with the clouds in the distance. I can glaze over that so there's not a division. Right. It's funny how as you progress your ideas change, because since what I just said, I've just realised that in the background here it's actually quite a dark blue. Now I don't know if that'll work. I'm going to try it because I want that to contrast with lighter areas in the foreground here. Tasmania seems to be a place of purpley colours. How true is that? Oh look, that run, look. Do we let that happen? You know, we can think about it. See, what, do you panic? You know, am I panicking? No. Okay. Oh no, stop talking, I know. put some music in. Boom, 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 boom. Oh no, sound like Rolf Harris. Well, it's Tasmania. Perhaps I should sound like Rolf Harris. Now, I'm going to do anything with this. That bit there I will. But that, I'm just going to let it happen. I think I will take some of this bit darker. A bit more into the... I think I'll overlay a little bit of... Just getting some of the ultramarine blue and a bit of sap green. Just very lightly, quickly. Like that. Okay. You notice I haven't done anything with the sky yet. I'm still thinking about the contrasts. I might take that even darker when it's dry to get this sort of, you know, put some more green in there, but this sort of contrast between the dark and the light there, that can be really nice. Just so you know what I'm doing, drying this bit again now. It's very important to dry quite often. I mean, that's been one of the secrets that I've found. I mean, I never used to use anything to assist drying, and you know, life's too short, isn't it? So there we go. Okay, well, this is where I start using visual imagination quite a bit. I've noticed on the photo that in this area up here, it looks as if, wow, it could almost be slightly to the orange, and then blue and violet down this side. So I'm going to do the kind of thing where you get like that counter change effect, and I'm really going to push it. So I'm going to start by sticking in some yellow, like that. Then I'm going to get some cadmium orange. On the brush, load it up. Really hack it on fast. Brilliant. Dilute that a bit down that end. And we're going to go in then with cobalt blue. Let it run a bit, like that. Love it. Okay, now where have I done my spray? Pause a second while I find me bits and pieces. Ooh, got to be quick. I've got a hairdresser's micro spray here that I use. Sometimes I just like to do that kind of thing. You can set off runs and control them. Now I'm going to let that go like that, but these bits look a bit too blocky. I'm going to make them into clouds using the kitchen paper. Just ordinary tissue, kitchen tissue. Now you can do things, I'll just show you, can do things where you can say, right, let's imagine the light and what's happening. So which way is the light coming from? It is really emanating from this side, because all of this is going to be slightly in shadow. So you can do things, look at that that's happening there. So do we mess with that or do we let it do it? There's a line there that I don't want. But I'm just going to very quickly do a little bit like that and like that. Okay, maybe I've messed that up because I took that out. So sometimes you should probably leave things, you know. But it's happening up there as well, which you might not be able to see on the camera. I love the way the water kind of flows like this. Probably should have some more. Oh, blue's gone in there now. Happy accident? Who knows? Yeah, maybe, because it's got this slight contrast happening. Oh, watercolour's amazing, isn't it? Do I do some more spraying? And you can already see lots of textures taking place, which is something that I like very much indeed. Whether it works, I mean, I've had some good comments from you guys, so you know, you seem to like it as well. I want to get more textures and things happening in here to sort of indicate the distance. And in the next step, this is kind of like still under the what I think of the DL stage, drawing and light stage. Okay, it's at the stage now where you think, what do we do next? Well, I'm going to work on the foreground a bit, because I want to do the light effects more in a moment. and then concentrate on the distance. So now, focal point wise, it's kind of like the path will lead us a bit into the distance, and then, as I say, we'll have a little bit more detail in there to kind of focus the eye. Excuse me. And being it's Australia, I'm looking at the path on the picture. It looks, in my mind, slightly sort of orangey ready. So rightly or wrongly, I'm going to use Alizarin Crimson to put in the path, and I'm just going to do that. And it just, I think it's going to give a nice feature, something different, a real bright colour, a real bright splash of colour there. Look at that, no fear. It's what I call fearless watercolour. As soon as you start showing fear, it goes wrong. What you need to get to the stage where you realise that the things that go wrong are the things that make the picture. Like I say, it's all a matter of the whole painting, in the way that I work, is a process of making mistakes and then refining the mistakes. And this is, I am using these sable brush, different brush at the moment. It comes to a nice tip, sable. Don't have to be sable, by the way, but I've got one, so I use it. A few more oranges in now. There's also some bright red flowers down there as well, I've noticed. I'm going to put those in a minute, they'll bring it forward, won't they? I lied, and before I dry it off, I realised that I really want some blues in there as well. Just a few. That will do. Instead of doing some more. That will definitely do. I think I'll break a few lines up inside here. Right now, excuse me, I keep clearing my throat, sorry about that. And we're very much in the L stage of it. Remember I said we go DL, L. Well, I didn't, did I? With DL, the first stage, drawing and light. L, the second stage, is light, which is the phase we're in now. And the last stage is D again, for drawing. When we pull everything together and finish it off. Come out of that hill in the background, and imagine the shadow coming across. This is where you just have to be, as I say, brave. I've got that's cobalt blue. I'm also going to mix it with a little bit of, let's do that like that. What colour is it? It's a mauve. Hang on, I'll think of it in a second. I told you I can't talk and paint at the same time. I'm just going to let that happen like that. Winsor violet. Sorry, couldn't think of the colour. Winsor violet. Okay, that's that bit down. And at the same time, I'm going to put some more darker areas, cloud areas up here in the sky. Just there, like that. This is where you can get your kitchen paper to do the same thing as we did before. Not too